Let's go through one more time. That feel is incredible, dude.
With the advent of the computer came digitized music. Suddenly, you could copy and paste the beat, automate a drum set to keep time. Doesn't mean it'll sound good, but that's because musical feel is highly contextual. Feelings cannot be calculated. Expressing everyday emotions involves facial expressions, body language, and tone. It's highly nuanced. As for musical feel, you can't replace an artist with artificial intelligence because music is more art than it is science. This musical feel is what gives Jon Bellion his signature sound. For instance, it's hard to believe that Justin Bieber wrote the line,
I know you think about laying side by side on the Goodwill couch.
With a net worth of almost $300 million, Justin Bieber would sooner buy Goodwill than he would buy a couch from Goodwill. Even if we don't hear Jon's voice on the track,
There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain.
we hear his influence.
When I believed in forever and everything would stay the same.
If you're at all familiar with Jon's music, the vocal scatting at the end of the song has Jon's fingerprints all over it.
On top of the, like, make it some tribal.
Beyond his ghostwriting, you can also hear Jon's influence in his production. In these two songs, you can hear his voice in the instrumentation. The reason Jon is able to breathe life into synthetic sound is because he oversees the entire process. He buys the ingredients and cooks the meal. His sound is organic because he guides it from farm to table.
I just love to jam. I love to jam to get melody, so this is me just trying to find the proper verse melody.
That's a verse melody right there.
See, I'm literally finding where the melody could go, just kind of freestyling, seeing what comes naturally without having to like force it to try, you know?
Baked into the loop is Jon's vocal scratching and beatboxing.
Right when I started beatboxing over those chords, I knew I already had the drum samples in my head, so I set them up and put them on the beat pad. Little stuff like that gets me so excited. I've been making just noises. I used to make noises with my mouth when I was younger as placeholders for drums, and then I realized if I make the noise in pocket dope enough, it could add to the swing of the drums, like right here. See, everything's moving nicer now because of two simple like beatbox things. It's that easy.
Musical feel is so much more than keeping time. It's an understanding of the relationship sounds have with one another. It's a soupy concoction full of texture and space and rhythm and randomness and pattern, all swimming around together.
Oh my god.
I know the yell. I know.
It's not on the one.
Right.
It's not on the two, it's not on the three, it's not on the four, but it's on.
Yeah.
You know, and then you start moving, man. The feel of drums is so important, man.
You can listen for feel, but Jon will help describe it as well.
You get the that snare is nowhere. Even a shaker, it's like it's dragging all over the record, but it's just causing me like stumbling into the right pocket. You know what I mean?
What separates Jon from other producers is the personality of his sound. He uses kick and snare to provide shape, but it's the moments in between these sounds that adds definition to his work.
Ghost notes are the little in-between notes between the loud, expressive, dominant notes that give a part a groove and a feel. For example, if I were to do a drum beat that was and then I wanted to do ghost notes for the snare, that sound, I might do those are little ghost notes that just give the part a little bit more groove and feel.
You can't front and say that every sound is not exactly sonically where it should be.
musical feel is both precise and random. It's both measured and emotional. See, musical feel, while requiring years of study and practice, it has to be experienced, and it cannot be learned.
This guy has been playing the synth loop for about 4 hours straight. It's 5:23 a.m. and he's still playing it.
You could spend your whole life studying how to sail, but it's not until you experience the sea that you actually know what you're doing. In the same way, you could spend your whole life playing an instrument without ever truly learning to play it.
Like, give me a subpar beat, give me a make sure that the verse is really dope, but the beat's subpar, or the beat's retarded and the lyrics is because we just want to make sure it's a hit because the beat's crazy. No, every aspect, every facet can be analyzed and sat down with somebody who's, the people who listen to music, that's who you create for, that's who I create for. And hopefully I could be a light to shine in somebody that says, yo, he's a creative dude and he does what he wants and he's very good at it because he cares about the craft.
It's a love for the craft of music that fuels John's creativity.
I think I'm in a place in my life where I think it's more of my responsibility to stay passionate about what I love and what I love to do. And that's just making music.
Music brings John undeniable joy. Watch his eyes light up as he feels the rhythm of this song.
It's not gonna be that swung, but you just get stupid for no reason.
John is an unapologetic fan of music.
That musical moment, that Dilla swing, but you write a pop record on top of it, oh man.
Simon and Garfunkel reference. So you got the Billy Joel, it reminds me of Billy Joel, and you also got the Lila Lie from The Boxer.
Put most simply, John is such a fan of music that he's able to make other musicians fans of his music.
John Bellion, who is one of my favorite artists and songwriters. He's written songs for literally everybody. Lately has written the last 3 or 4 Justin Bieber singles.
Yeah, you. If it's not you, it's not anyone. I need you to hold on. Heaven is a place not too far away. If I can't be close to you, I'll settle for the ghost of you. Feel so holy, 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 holy.
I know you think about laying side by side on the Goodwill couch.
You're just so in awe of his talent and his vocal ability and the way that he can string melodies together, and it's just not how my brain works.
Thomas Rhett is a Grammy-nominated musician. We have little in common, but the way he talks about John is indiscernible from the way I talk about him.
It's just not how my brain works. You're just so in awe of his talent. And John Bellion, who is one of my favorite artists.
We're both fans. And judging from the amount of song credits John has on Justin Bieber's Justice album, it's safe to assume Bieber is a fan as well.
Anyways, going back to John Bellion, I just resonated with his words so much. He's just an extraordinary songwriter in every way, shape, and form. The way he's able to articulate what he's feeling is just such a gift. And so
what separates Justin's music consumption from the average person is that he feels behind every purchase. Think of the millions of radio plays and concert tickets attached to these songs. The music Justin sings has to be personally relatable, but further, it has to be relatable for his countless fans. Justin even relies on John to create a song for his wife. You hear the absurdity in that, right? That's like asking someone else to whisper sweet nothings on your behalf. What's even more absurd is that John is able to translate what his listeners are feeling through his speakers.
the fact that he wanted to share that gift with me, I was honored to be able to sing the songs that he wrote because they resonated so close to home for me.
However ambitious, John articulates the full range of the human condition, meaning his songs sound... I think that's because he pushes himself to his limit. Lyrically, every single word has purpose.
I think it might just be like a legitimate lyric, like line by line thing.
Yeah.
But we have to all be like, yes.
But it goes beyond how the words fall on the page. John's also concerned with how the words fall off his tongue.
A, B is normal. Then this A in that third verse is that higher octave I was doing that day. And then the last A again, but it's this amalgamation of voices and whatever.
John's also pushing the production of his work as well.
Ever look at all these tracks. Look at all those. All these vocals. And eventually each song will just be one track.
Musical feel is achieved by way of intuition and experience. But John's music is deep not only because of the depth of pocket, but the depth of the emotion he explores.
In that moment when my voice is cracking and I'm screaming and I'm pushing my vocal and it's not perfect, I felt like I was really singing for the first time in my life.
What if all the things I've done were just attempts at earning love?
So, paradoxically, John's greatest strength comes from his greatest weakness. Because in order to shine a light on pain or grief or anxiety for his fans,
Hopefully I could be a light to shine.
John has to illuminate these emotions for himself first.
The veil is kind of pulled down, and me upholding this, I'm something beyond a normal guy. I need to be viewed as such is kind of just out the window, and this song kind of knocked down those doors for me.
The bravest thing we can do is live into that which makes us human. That is, be vulnerable in the face of our emotions. Whether creating something as intricate and nuanced as a John Bellion song, or creating something as low stakes as a conversation, what we create matters deeply.